I can't believe you really want to keep that bird, my brother Joe complained as we headed from the parking lot. It keeps making fun of us. I held the bird with one arm and opened the car door. It's a parrot, Joe, I said. That's what parrots do. They repeat things. And the poor thing is now an orphan now. It needs a home. I gently placed the bird on the backseat of our Aunt Thrust's and Volkswagen Belton. Joe slipped into the passenger seat and singed. But why couldn't it say heroes, heroes instead of wimps, wimps? He asked. The parrot flapped its wings. Wimps, wimps, wimps. It quacked. I laughed while Joe closed his eyes and groaned. It's just so annoying, he said. It's only a bird, Joe. I reminded him again. I'm not talking about the parrot. Joe explained. I mean, dude, we jumped out of a plane with busted parachute, taken on a killer at 20,000 feet, smashed an international smuggling rings, and then get chased by a winged bag like brain cornered. Hey, that's the price we pay for going undercover, Joe, I said. And don't worry about cornered. We won't have to see his face again till school starts in the fall. Aunt Thursday's car engine dies and soon as I try to start it. And guess who we have to get a ride home for? Brain cornered. I guess I spoke too soon. I had to wave the guy down before he pulled out of the parking lot. Needless to say, my brother was not thrilled. Okay, I'll accept a ride home from the kids, Joe muttered under his breath. But you own me big time. Brain's SUV screeched to a stop next to Aunt Trusty's dusty VW. You boys need to be rescued twice in one day, huh? He tested us yet again. Why are you driving the toy cars anyway? Our motorcycles are getting a turn up, cornered, Joe said defensively. I told my brother to chill out while we loaded our stuff into the Brain's SUV. At least you get to sit in the back seat with your girlfriend. Joe whispered me. Don't even start. I warned, my face turning red. I guess I should explain Brain's sister Belinda is smart, funny, blonde, beautiful, the whole package, and the smiles and touches my arm every chance he gets. Problem is, I get a little frustrated around girls. Jump in, Frank, Belinda said, opening the rear door of SUV. She flashed a smile that made me feel weak in the knees. Okay, maybe I get more than just a little frustrated. Joe hopped into the front seat next to Brain. I knew the little creep grabbed shotgun just so he could watch me squirm next to Belinda. I tried to play it cool as I slid into the back seat with a parrot on my shoulder. Real cool. We fastened our seatbelt and Brain peeled out of the parking lot like it was the India 500. We are not really in such a hurry, Brenda. I pointed out. Sorry, I forgot the Hardys are allergic to danger, he said, slowing down only slightly. Put a lid on it, Belinda scolded her brother. They were almost killed today. I hope you all alright. Frank, she placed a hand on my forearm. Well, yeah, it was, a little scary. I stuttered. What a dork. Don't worry, I am fine, I said, clearing my throat. Brain started clucking like a chicken when caught the attention of the parrot on my shoulder. I raised its feather head and squawked. I like your bird, Belinda commented with a smile. I blushed. Oh yeah, Wings had to go to the hospital, so we are taking care of his pet. What's his name? She asked. I searched. I am not sure. Didn't Wings call him Bird Brain? Brain said, what a nasty laugh. With a nasty laugh. The parrot ruffled his feathers and made a loud raspberry sound. I wonder, like that name either, I said to my new feathered friend. The bird responded by poking my head with its beak. Belinda giggled. How about calling him Pokey? She suggested. The parrot puffed up its chest. Poofy, Joe chimed in. Poofy, Brain added. The bird squeaked back. Poofy, puffy, pooly. Man, he's like a tape recorder with wings. Isn't he? I said, I guess I can throw away my digital mixing board. With this bird on my shoulder, who needs playback? The parrot flapped its wings with excitement. Playback, playback, playback. It's chirped. That's it, said Belinda, slapping my knees. You can call him Playback. Totally, Joe agreed. Okay, Playback it is, I said, petting the parrot's belly. I turned to Belinda and made a lamb attention at fluttering. I thinking he likes the name. I mean, who wouldn't? You know, like you, bird name, real smooth. It's perfect, I added, trying not to blush. I gave Belinda a cool sideways glance and nodded shrewdly. Saved. Well, until a parrot decided to poop on my shoulder. Gross, I muttered. Everyone burst out laughing, but really, did they have to make jokes about it the entire ride home? It's a parrot, Frank, that's what parrots do. My brother said, mocking my own words. Belinda offered her sympathy and a pack of tissues from her purse. But boys, was I relieved when Brain pulled up in front of our house. Thanks, Brain, said Joe, hopping out and dashing to the porch of our old house. It was clear to everyone that Joe really hated thanking Brain for anything. He just wanted to make a quick escape, which left me alone with Belinda in the back seat. You take care of yourself, Frank, she said. You had a rough day, poor guy. Then she gave me a peek on the cheek. I'm sure my face turned red than Playback's tail feathers. Well, thanks, Belinda. I stammered and, thanks for the right, Brain. Before I could embarrass myself any further, I ran up the porch stair as fast as I could. I followed Joe into the house and almost crashed right into him. The entire family was sitting in the dining room, staring at us. Mom, Dad, Aunt Tess, and they all had strange, surprised look on their face. It's that parrot, Mother asked. Parrot, 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 Playback responded. Mom chuckled. I guess the answer my questions, she said. I suppose you boy want to keep him. Can we, Mom? I replied. He needs a home. Aunt Tess was horrified. Is he housebroken? Of course he is. I lied. I might have gotten away with it if Playback hadn't chosen the exact moment to drop a little gift on my shoulder. I knew it, Aunt Tess exclaimed. He is going to poop all over our nice clean house. When I was a little girl on the farm, we had some ducks, and that's all they did. Poop, 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 all over the place. He's not a duck, Aunt Trusty, I agree, and I promised to clean up after him. Aunt Trusty stood up and started cleaning plates off the table. I think we all knew who does the cleaning up around here, she said, not to mention cooking for a pair of boys who are always late for dinner. Sorry, Aunt Trusty, Joe and I said in unison. Mom stood up, came over to me, and petted the parrot. Isn't he a pretty thing? He said. I guess you can keep him, but he's your responsibility. I'll download some parrot info for the web tonight for you. Thanks, Mom, I said, kissing her cheeks. I glanced at Dad. I could tell he was concerned about the skydiving mission, but we didn't have to talk about it later when Mother and Aunt Trusty weren't here. Did you pack up some band acid for me? Aunt Trusty questioned us. Oops! That was the reason Aunt Trusty had let us her VW. There's something I have to tell you about your car, Aunt Trusty, I said, wincing. The engine died on us. Yup, Joe confirmed. Well, she said, shaking her head, you know something fishy here. I send you boys out with my beetle to buy some band's acid, and you come back with Burson and a bird. What really happened? Joe and I glanced down at the bruises on our legs. Well, tell you all about it after you warm up some leftovers for us, Aunt Thursday said my brother, thinking fast. Thanks, we need to wash up first. We both gave our aunt a kiss and bounded up the stairs before she could ask any more questions. Playback clung to my shoulder and squawked. When we reached the second floor, Joe turned to me and said, well, Frank, I bailed you out that once. You own me again. I swatted the back of his head and followed him into my bedroom. Where are we going to put this bird until we get a cage? I asked. Joe walked to the window and turned around. Let's see. We could push a couple of chairs together, and I stopped listening because something outside the window caught my eyes. A big red brick sailed throughout the air right towards our window. Joe! I yelled. Duck!